given up after a couple of months trying to get a program at the jail going, but you wouldn't let me. And you also weren't in a hurry. You didn't encourage me to work. You didn't say, oh, you know, you said, wait, do it again, try some more. And it took 2 years instead of 2 months. And many of hours of conversation with you to get that off the ground. But because of the programs that you and others have launched at the college and contributed to over almost 4 decades to support students. One of the students, we've had 3 classes at the jail now, and the first student who is kind of ready to enroll might be coming in the fall. Because of all of the programs for at-risk students that are here, he would not have been able to do that otherwise. So, and I think that, that's just one person wondering about which direction to go in life, and you've affected thousands. So for the model that you provide so many of us, not that I would want to copy that model, it would exhaust me, I'd be dead in the hall somewhere. But I'm very glad to know what it looks like. For the work of sustaining your passion and interest and engagement for decades, and especially for that subversive smile. Thank you.
Linda Horta is gonna go next. We're conscious we're running up against the 1 o'clock teaching time, so we'll stay a little longer if people have to go after Linda says her thing.
Okay. So let's take a walk down memory lane.
Oh, please.
When Anne was hired in 1977, she was hired as temp full-time in early childhood education faculty, funded half by Voc Ed. Louis Turner was the president, and Art Hannon was the director of behavioral sciences, where the early childhood education department reported. And Nancy Winter, who's with us, was the head of early childhood department. Anne was reappointed in this capacity for 3 years and then became chair of behavioral sciences from 1981 to approximately 1986. Okay. So division secretaries that worked during that time with Anne were Ellie Maynard, Barbara Smead, and Joanne Delisle. When I became division secretary in spring of '88, Anne was back to full-time faculty, and Benson Parks was the new division chair.
You mentioned that chairs in those days were administrative. Not people
You're right.
know that.
Right.
They were like deans.
Yeah, right.
So there were many times when Anne shared her knowledge, history, and expertise of the workings of the division and the college. For instance, I'd have a file drawer open and Anne peered in and said, "Oh, I see it's still set up the way Joanne and I did it." And it was great because things like that really didn't change much until I moved the office twice, over to East and then over back to North. So we've had a few reorgs. And now for some math statistics. Anne taught mostly psychology and some early childhood education classes when she returned to faculty. And over time, Anne taught only psychology classes, and including Psych of Women. In addition, from fall 2008 through spring 2011, Anne served as either chair or co-chair of the Social Sciences Department within the Behavioral Sciences Division. And I've calculated a rough estimate of the number of classes that Anne taught over her time at GCC, and came up with 171 sections. Give or take.
Then there were all those other reassigned times
Yeah.
that I also did.
And then based on a class size of 25, because I can only sort of do an average, could mean that you've taught approximately 4,275 students.
Oh my goodness.
So anyway, I just thought
No
I'd
wonder
throw
they all come up to me and stop and shop.
So Anne,
Oh gosh.
we thought it was only fitting to recognize your dedication to teaching and chairing by presenting you with
You gotta take the thing
Oh,
off
I
now.
know. Oh.
And there's also a gift certificate to Hope and Olive to enjoy some recreation.
Ooh, fabulous. One of my favorite places. Thank you.
Before everybody goes, I just want to, I know a couple people, more people want to speak, and so we'll stay, but if you have to go, please know that the person who did all of the work, or 96% of the work, I think it's fair to say, was Linda Horta. And
You made a delicious cake.
And go by the dessert table.
And take a piece for
You have
later
to
this
leave,
afternoon.
Please. Take some desserts with you.
So I know Rose wanted to say a few words,
I do.
and Linda McCarthy wanted to say a few words, and we also have anybody
You
else.
should be eating cake.
Maybe Ann wants to say
Get
some
some
words.
cake. Move around while we're speaking. You don't just sit. But I have to finish chewing now. I took a bite of food. Are you going to?